everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alison, the online piano and the online violin tutor. Welcome back to another subscriber Sunday video, and this week we have Grace, who is from Texas, and she has got a problem with her bow hold that we're going to go through. So let's watch Grace's video.
Hi Allison, so thank you for doing answering our questions, because this was a question I really needed. So every time I start playing a piece, I'm like 8 seconds into it, my thumb starts off like this, but it always bends like this and starts to go underneath the pad. It starts to do this and just eases its way in. So I'm like this. I start off like this, and 8 seconds in, I'm starting to slide in like this. It's not that much, but it's enough to be uncomfortable while I'm playing. And I want to know why. So, let me play real quick. Right there, my thumb, see? It's already starting to slide in, and this is what my hand looks like after I play.
Okay, so she's saying that she has a problem with her thumb slipping through the bow hold, and this is unbelievably common, but it's very, very easily solved. It's a very simple resolve, but it's also quite difficult at the same time. It's simple because it's just something as simple as just moving your thumb and your fingers into a different position, but it's more difficult in the way that you have to be aware of that, and you then have to retrain yourself. So basically, she seems to be putting her thumb in the right place in the first instance, and then she's playing away and it's kind of moving. Now, there's a couple of things that you can do to remedy this. So first of all, I think she probably needs to try I don't want to say a better bow grip, because by judging of the piece that she actually played there, I don't know whether she is maybe doing more fiddle music, in which case I'm more of a classical musician, so I don't want to say it's a better bow hold, but maybe she could try an alternative bow hold that might help her, and then she can adjust that bow hold further once she has more information to adapt to the kind of music that she's playing. But at least she'll know why the problem is occurring, and she will know how to remedy the situation. So first of all, she is holding in the right place, but the difference between the way she holds and the way I hold is that I'm holding with the very, very tip of my thumb, almost wedging between the kind of fingernail and the kind of bit of skin. When you sort of pull your thumb away from your fingernail, not too much, obviously it gets uncomfortable, but that kind of area, and I come at it from sort of underneath. So I'm not from the side. My thumb is coming at it from underneath the bow. I'm kind of pushing it up. So therefore, the wood part of the bow is wedging in between my fingernail, and you can sort of, I don't know if you can, how much you can actually see, how much of that is actually coming out on camera, but it's wedged between the fingernail and the sort of skin part of my thumb. The other thing I noticed with her is that she's holding, and this might be the whole reason why, but her fingers seem to be in the right place, but she's holding with the very pads of her fingers, and I don't know how she's doing it. Well, obviously she isn't, because her thumb is slipping through, and I can see that why. So I would suggest to Grace that she needs to have her fingers down a lot further. And the one thing you notice is that as soon as you start moving your fingers down, everything starts lifting up, because it has to. So it's a combination of her holding the bow with the very tippy tips of her fingers, so like this. So if you guys try that at home, you'll notice that, ooh, that's quite actually difficult to do, and it's quite a common mistake. So have your fingers down a lot further, in fact almost where the hair is. So my middle two fingers here are actually hanging down below the hair. That's how low they are, and the wood of the bow is in that kind of first knuckle joint. So she's holding with the very tips of her fingers. I've got mine a lot further down. Now, if she's got her fingers a lot further down, the angle of her thumb is going to change, and therefore it's not going to poke through the bow anymore. If she is finding that that's still happening, then she's going to have to work extra hard on perhaps just changing her bow grip. But I think if she just tilts everything over a bit more and the thumb comes up, so she's got less pressure on her thumb, I think that's probably the whole thing will go away. Because she's holding with the very fingertip, she's putting a lot of pressure on all her fingers, and I can see especially her little finger. To put this into practice, I would be very careful what I practice, so I wouldn't play something like the kind of piece that she just demonstrated. I don't know what that was, but maybe something like some sort of fiddle music that she was demonstrating with. I wouldn't do that, because the first thing you're going to be doing is just slip straight back into old habits. So when you're doing fast stuff like that, you've got to be very, very careful with the bow. And I would say that kind of music is actually quite advanced to play, because it requires a very particular bow technique as well. So it's not advanced in terms of maybe notes, but to get it going at that speed, your bow has to be doing something quite particular. What I mean by that is that if you're doing lots of fast notes, you're going to be doing more that kind of thing. So you don't want to be bowing. You can't bow that way because it's too much. So what you want to be doing is so as you can see that I'm not even bowing from the wrist, I'm just bowing from the fingers. So if you're playing fiddle music, then you're going to be down at the point of the bow. Your fingers are going to be very loose, and you're going to want to be bowing more with your fingers. So actually fiddle music is a lot harder than it actually seems, because it requires quite advanced bowing technique. So to start with, I would just be practicing some softer music, something that isn't too challenging, just so that I could focus on really having my thumb in the right place. And as soon as I feel it slipping through, I'm probably going to need to move my fingers over, because I've probably, slipped back up here. So have your fingers curled round, lift everything up, and just learn to play that new way again. I hope that has helped you, Grace, and I hope that has answered your question, and also helped anybody else out there watching this video that might be having exactly the same trouble as Grace. So I hope that has helped you as well, and thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.